Have you ever been in a place with a friend who has a car and who's supposed to take you home, and you ask them, "Oh, when are you gonna take me home?" And they said, "I don't know. Like I'm still busy. I still gotta do some few things, so I don't know when I'm going to take you home." If you've ever been in that kind of situation, how did you feel? Did you not feel powerless? Did you not become impatient because you wanted to know when they were going to take you home? You didn't feel good, right? You didn't feel good because you didn't know when they were going to take you home. But let's say when you asked them, they told you that, "Yo, look, anytime you want, my man, anytime you want. If you want to go home, just tell me and I'll take you home." How do you imagine you'd feel? You'd feel good. You'd feel like the power is in your hands. The humans want to feel like they are in control. They don't want to feel powerless. They don't want other people to control them. They want to feel like they're in control of their lives. They don't want to just watch things happen. Every human wants to feel like they're in control of their lives. They are the ones that are making their decisions. If you take away a person's ability to make their own decision, what you're doing is turning them into a prisoner. And that's not going to make them feel good. Because a prisoner cannot do some things until the prison guards say, "Yeah, now you're allowed to do this, you're allowed to do that. But you won't be allowed to do this, you won't be allowed to do that after this time." Humans do not want to feel like prisoners. They are conscious enough to not want to feel like prisoners. That's the problem. Once you become intelligent, you want to be in control of your life. I mean, when you were a kid, you didn't mind shitting yourself, right? Why did you not mind? It's because you weren't intelligent enough to really care. You didn't mind peeing your pants. But as you became more conscious, you started minding when you actually get to pee, when you actually get to shit. You didn't just want to shit your pants. Can you imagine if, as a society, we decided that it is wrong for people to decide when they're going to pee? It's actually unnatural. People must just drink water until they naturally pee their pants. They mustn't decide on their own when it's time to pee. No, it must just happen naturally. It is evil. How can a person decide when to pee? That is evil. The worst thing about life is that we do not offer people a chance to exit peacefully. That is the worst thing about life. We have turned life into a prison. You see the problem? Imagine if you work for a company where you weren't allowed to resign until they fire you. They believed that it was immoral for you to resign on your own. No, you don't have power to just resign. No. It's you can't just resign on your own. Who are you to just like want to resign on your own? Don't you see that other people are still working? Why would you resign on your own? You never get to resign on your own. The boss is the one that actually decides when you should stop working. You don't get to decide when you stop working. If you feel like you cannot go on anymore, then you need therapy. You need help. Maybe you need medication, but you can't just resign. That is wrong. Let's say people who work for that company believe that. How do you think you would feel? You'd feel powerless, right? Let's say you were intelligent enough to know beyond any reasonable doubt that it wasn't wrong for you to choose when to resign. But they were so fucking delusional, but that they didn't get it. They were so fucking brainwashed that they didn't understand how important it is for them to be free, for you to be free. They felt like, no, it is wrong, you are evil, you should actually be punished for wanting to resign. No one should get to resign on their own. Can you imagine how you'd feel? Can you imagine how you would feel? You'd feel sick. You wouldn't feel sick because you have a mental illness. You actually feel sick because they have mental illnesses. Because no person in their right mind will think that it is not okay for a person to resign if they want to resign, right? So you'd know beyond a reasonable doubt that these people are fucking crazy. Like something is wrong with them. So you wouldn't be feeling sick because there's something wrong with you. You'd be feeling sick because there's something wrong with people around you. And because there's something wrong with people around you, they're making your life hard. You see, because they don't see things as they are. But you know what they're going to believe? They're going to believe that there's something wrong with you. And because you are outnumbered, you lose. No, they're going to believe that any person that wants to resign has mental issues. Because they're not conscious enough to realize that it is important that they have rights. No one should decide for another person when to resign. No, the person must decide for themselves. If they feel like they don't want to work anymore, they should be allowed to resign, which is very important. No person wants to feel like a slave. No person wants to feel that powerless. That's very important. But can you imagine if you work for a company where they say you can resign at any time? You don't have to wait to get fired. If you want to resign now, you can resign. There is no problem. No one is going to judge you. No one is going to have a problem. Like, how would you feel working in that kind of environment? As an intelligent person, as a person who's intellectually honest, as a person who knows their right, how would you feel? You feel good, right? Like, yeah, I can resign at any time. I don't have to be here, you know. I'm here because I'm choosing to be here. And you know that, hey, if I ever feel like I don't want to be here anymore, I can just resign. I'm not here because I have to be here. No. I'm only here because I still want to be here. I still want to work for this company. I'm good. Even if, and this is super important, even if you weren't going to resign, but feeling like you can resign at any time would actually make you feel good. I want you to get that. Even if you wouldn't ever want to resign, but feeling like you can resign at any time would actually make you feel good. Because you don't want to feel powerless. But if they said you can't resign, you'd probably want to resign. Like, no, you can't resign. Let's just say they said at some point that no one is allowed to resign. From that point, you'd actually feel like resigning. Why would you feel like resigning? Because you feel powerless. Like, oh, no, I'm not doing this by choice. That means that even if things become so horrible, I'll still have to work here. Even if I can't anymore, I'll still have to work here. No, that is wrong. I don't want that. That is why artists don't want to sign some contract. That's why many independent artists don't want to get signed now. They don't want to be slaves. Don't want to feel like, oh, I have to make 5 albums before I quit. Let's just say at some point I feel like I can't like make music anymore, and I've only like made 2 albums, so I'll be forced to make 3 more albums. You see, you always feel like you always want to feel like you are free. You don't want to feel like you're not free. No person in this world wants to feel like they are not free. What we must understand is that people are different. We did not create these people. We do not own these people. That's what we must understand. I don't know why you are here. I don't know what your purpose is on this planet. I don't know how you're experiencing life. I don't know if your blue is my blue, if your yellow is my yellow. That's the problem of other minds. I don't know if what makes me happy is what makes you happy. I don't know if we experience happiness the same way. I'm only able to see life from my own perspective. I'm only able to feel my own feelings. I'm only able to see life with my own eyes. I cannot see life with your eyes. I cannot think with your brain. I do not know if the thoughts that I think are the thoughts that you think. I do not know how it feels like to be you. Maybe to you, existence is pain. You are the one who decides whether existence is pain or not. I'm not the one who decides for you. I'm not you. So, what will give me the right to say, if you ever said that, okay, I'm done, I'm good. I don't want to be here anymore. I want some people to assist me to exit peacefully. What will give me the right to say, no fucking way. You need medication, you need this and that. If I'm intelligent enough, I will know beyond unreasonable that I'm abusing you if I said you can't. Because I'm not experiencing life from your perspective. So what gives me the right to say you can't? You shouldn't be assisted. You don't qualify. Life is wonderful. Life is a gift. So you mustn't be able to be assisted because I feel like life. Don't you realize that you're fucking sick? Like you're sick in the head. And you are the one you and the people who are like you are the ones that are making intelligent people sick. They are not sick because they were born sick. They are sick because you are sick. You are too stupid. You are too stupid that you are actually causing a lot of suffering without even realizing that you're causing a lot of suffering. You see the problem? And this is something that a lot of people do not realize. Most people are dumber than they think they are. Like, they're really that stupid. We are so fucking different as people when it comes to our level of consciousness. There are people who are like gods, like they're so fucking conscious that they can debate with aliens, you know what I mean? Like, they can debate with gods, like spirits, whatever. Like, they're so fucking conscious. They can debate with the Holy Spirit, bro. I'm that conscious. I can debate with Jehovah, you know what I mean? I'm that conscious, and I can make more sense than him because I'm that fucking conscious. But some of y'all are dumber than animals. I've seen dogs that I think are smarter than humans. And that's the problem. And human beings are treated the same. Like, we are equal. No one should have a right to do this because the dumbest person wouldn't be able to do it well. So now the smartest people that can do it well and I don't even have a right to do, because you can say, well, people shouldn't be allowed to choose when to exit because they're gonna change their minds, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, not everyone will change their minds. Some people know exactly what they want. There are people who have felt like they wanted to exit for more than 20 years. And there hasn't been a single day when they felt like, man, but it's life is hard and all that, but what the fuck? It's not like they ever like start to feel differently, sometimes start to second guess themselves. No, like, they know exactly how they feel, and they've always felt like that because they know exactly what they want. So just because some people don't know what they want, it doesn't mean that you mustn't allow people to have rights. Allow people to make their own mistakes. You shouldn't make mistakes for them because we don't know what the fuck is going on. Who knows what's good, right? Who knows what's best? Who knows what's best for you? Who knows what's best for me? Who knows what's best for your friends? What's best for your sisters, your brothers? You might not even know what's best for you, but at least you must be allowed to make your own decisions so that even if things don't work out, you won't have anyone to blame but yourself. You'll be like, yeah, well, I at least I was free to make my own decisions. Things just didn't work out. Can you imagine if things don't work out because someone else forced you to make a decision? Can you imagine? Like, you will hate that person forever. You want to feel free to make your own decisions. The worst thing about life is the fact that we want this to be a prison for people. And we gaslight people. We gaslight people into believing that they are wrong for not wanting this to be a prison, for wanting to be free. I mean, would you want to be in a place where you can't leave when you choose to leave? Is there a place in this world that you've ever wanted to be in if they said you cannot choose when to leave and you don't even get to know when you're gonna leave? Can you imagine? You don't even know when you're gonna leave. I mean, you don't even know when they're going to allow you to leave. Once you're in that place, you have to wait for them to say, oh yeah, you can leave now. In fact, they don't even like give you permission to leave, they just kick you out. Because that's what we're saying when we say people cannot be allowed to choose when to exit. We're waiting for life to kick them out. Be like, hey, you're still here, what the fuck? Now you're gonna exit horribly now. We'll be like, we don't give, like, you still here? You're gonna have to suffer, you know? Because you overstayed your welcome. But now, you know, I do believe that it is better to, you know, remain here and learn, you know, try to figure out what is really going on. And I think if you are really doing the right things, the older you become, the more you like understand, you know, the more you'll understand a lot of things. But that must be by choice, because we still don't know what is best. No one should be forcing you to be here if you do not want to be here. It must be your own choice. Because if we force people to be here, we will end up abusing them. And if they say, no, I'm being abused and I don't want to be here, we say, oh, they just have mental illnesses. You see? We must make this experience so good that people want to be here on their own. You see? People must feel like, wow, I'm blessed to be here. Wow, I'm happy to be alive. You know how many people exited this year alone in the world? I just saw a post on Facebook about a lady that exited. She had 2 children. She also forced them to exit. How fucked up that is. The oldest child was 10 years old. The other child was 5 years old. She felt like if she left her children, they will suffer because she had suffered. So she exited with them. That is fucked up. Why do we force people to do that? Because we're not saving people by forcing them to be here. That's not how we save people. If we feel like we be saving people by, you know, making them stay longer than they would like. The best way to save people is to make this place better. That's it. If I'm dating someone and they feel like they want to leave, I don't force them to be in a relationship with me. I don't kidnap them like, bitch, you can't leave. Fuck out of here. Shit. I'm not gonna allow that shit to happen. No fucking way. No. I try to talk to that person. Yo, why do you want to leave? Do you feel like I'm not really there for you? Do you feel like I'm not helping you the way that you want to be helped? Do you feel like I don't love you the way that you want to be loved? Do you feel like I don't satisfy you sexually? Do you not love me anymore? Why do you want to leave? And if, you know, I think that I can fix the problem, then I try to fix the problem. If I feel like, okay, I can't fix the problem, I don't fix the problem. I let them leave. I mean, it's just a person feels like I don't spend enough time with them, and I feel like, well, I love them, so I would rather try to spend enough time with them, and I'll try. It's good. Because that's the reason why they want to leave. But if I say they can't leave no matter what, that would mean that even if they say I don't spend enough time with them, well, they still won't, and I won't have to change. There's no incentive to change, you know, because they still can't leave. You see the problem. So now governments are abusing the citizens because of that. Because they can't leave, right? That's the problem. They can't leave. So they can abuse them however they want to abuse them. And if they feel like they want to leave, they'll gaslight them. Oh yeah, you have mental illnesses, depression is real, this is like, no, you're not treating them well. That is why they want to leave. Isn't that obvious? If you're in a place where you don't feel welcome, if you're in a place where you don't feel accommodated, if you're in a place where you don't feel loved, if you're in a place where you feel like you're not being treated well, if you're in a place where you feel like you're not taken seriously, if you're in a place where you feel like you're being bullied, if you're in a place where you're feeling like you're being laughed at, no one cares about you, you'd want to leave that place, right? If you're in a place where you're forced to do things that you don't want to do, you want to leave that place. If they don't want you to leave that place, what do? Do they force you to be in that place? Or do they ask you, oh, where do you want to live? And you explain to them, oh, here's how I feel, here's how I feel, here's how I feel. And they say, okay, how do you think we can solve the problems that you have here? And you tell them, okay, here's how I think you can solve the problems. That's how you help them. Yeah, that's how you help a person that's want to leave the place. You know, you don't help that person by forcing them to be there, not giving them a way out. That is wrong on so many levels. It is crazy that these delusional people who think that it is wrong for a person to be able to leave when they want to leave feel that way. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's scary. That is why I prefer being alone most times, because I don't trust people anymore. Like, there's no way that you think like that as a human. Like, if you're a real human like me, you think like, it doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense. I don't give a fuck how stupid you are. Like, it makes zero sense. I can't understand that. If you want other people to control you, to tell you when to go and take a shit, when to pee, when to eat, fine, but don't force everyone to comply. You see, that's the problem. Yeah, you're retarded enough to want that. That's good. That's beautiful. You know, I mean, we're not all the same. Some of y'all want to be controlled. I get it. You know, there are animals that we control as humans, and it seems like some of them want to be controlled. So yeah, we're not the same. You know, that's why I was saying that we're not operating at the same level of awareness, even though we seem to have the same bodies, but our consciousness is not the same. Some people are really that conscious, bro. Like, they see things as they really are. Some people don't see things as they really are because they are really not conscious. So these people cannot be treated the same. The problem is that the majority of people, and I remember I was talking about this yesterday, the majority of, like, this system is not meant to accommodate the smartest person. It's meant to accommodate the majority of people. So if the majority of people feel like they shouldn't have rights because of their level of consciousness, then the intelligent people are going to have problems, because now they'll have to not have rights because the average person feels like they shouldn't have rights, you know. It would be much better if for an example, I live in South Africa, right? Let's say there were provinces where they said, okay, people who feel this way, who want to have this kind of rights, should go and live in that province, right? That it will be good, rather than forcing millions of people to all be the same, to accept the same things. We're different. You are abusing us if you're forcing everyone else to accept the same things. We're not the same, and that is true. Some people are Christians. Doesn't make any sense Why it doesn't make any sense to me why the Christians, like, it doesn't. But me and them are different. We're different animals, but we're treated as if we're the same. We're different animals. You'll never see me rolling around when they pray for me. So that shows you that we're different animals. You won't see me worshiping anyone. But some people want to worship other people. I don't know why. So you can't say I'm like those people. I'm not. Even if you want to say that I think that I'm better, that is, I mean, I do think that I'm better and I have a right to think that I'm better, but that isn't the reason why we mustn't be treated the same. The reason why we must be treated the same is because we don't have the same values. Some people don't want to have rights. That's fine. They want to be controlled. They want to, believe in a God that's doing horrible things, and they don't want to question what this God be doing. That's fine. That's them. But I don't want to believe in a God that be doing horrible things. If you know what I mean. I don't even want to believe in any God. I don't want to worship any God. I don't want to worship any spirits. I don't want to be a slave. I don't want help from any spirits. People sometimes will tell you that, if you go to this church and they pray for you, your things are going to start working out in life. Sometimes it can happen that someone bewitched you, and no matter what you try to do, it won't work out because they bewitched. I'm like, I'm good. Fuck it. I'm not going to go and have a covenant with some spirits, whatever. Like, fuck all of that shit. I don't want to be anyone's slave, bro. Even if all that shit works, like if they pray for you and then things start working out for you, whatever. What I believe is that if there are beings that are behind the scenes, there are beings that are behind the scenes, but if there are beings that are behind the scenes that are helping people who worship them, these beings also want something from these people. I don't give a fuck what they say. I don't give a fuck what you believe about these beings. They want something. So you make deals with these beings, right? Like, okay, I want a lot of money. Like, all right, cool, but here's what you have to do for me. In South Africa, they do sacrifice people for, like, last year there have been so many people that got kidnapped and killed, and you see that it's not like they got robbed or anything like that. Like, they were being sacrificed, kill a person, torture them before they kill them. People believe weird things. And we must ask ourselves, why do people even believe that works? Maybe it does. Maybe there are some beings that want us to torture one another. So they're like, oh yeah, torture people. If you torture people, I'm going to give you what you want, because they're getting energy, you see? Doesn't that explain why the Christian God wanted sacrifices? Think about it. Why would you want sacrifice? Think about it. Like, why would you want someone? Think, yeah. Why would you want someone to sacrifice an animals for you that you're not even gonna eat? Like, they just, torture an animal for you, and that is good. Unless you were gaining something. Maybe when that animal is being tortured, you're gaining some energy or some, who knows? But yeah, some people want to believe in some gods. They want to make deals with some gods. They want to make these crazy deals with some gods, and they're owned by these gods. I've communicated with some people who are believed to have made deals with the devil. And these people, like, when you're talking to them, you feel like they're not really there. Like, have you ever spoken to a person and you felt like you weren't really speaking to a human being? Like, they're not really there. Like, nah, man, something is off. This person wasn't like this before, So, have you ever, like, okay, known a person before they succeeded, and then they succeeded, had a lot of things, and then you talk to them after they've succeeded and you feel like something was off. Keep an open mind. There are things that are going on that we don't understand. I'm not saying that this happens, whatever. Like, people make deals with the devil and then they lose themselves. I'm not really like. I mean, it's very likely, but I'm saying keep an open mind. But what I'm trying to say is that we are different as people. There's a reason why some people will go to traditional doctors and ask for them to perform some rituals that are going to make them rich, but some of us wouldn't do that. There's a reason why some people will worship God. Some of us will. I mean, I've done that, but now I wouldn't. That's because we're different. There's a reason why some people voted for Biden. It's because we're different. There's a reason why some people voted for Trump. It's because we're different. There's a reason why some people think that Jay-Z isn't the best rapper alive. We're different. There's a reason why some people think Eminem isn't the best rapper alive. I think M is the best. But yeah, that's because we're different. So we shouldn't be forced to all view life the same way. That is abuse. Believe it or not, that is abuse. You want to be free. You will never be okay unless you are free. Unless you know that you can make your own choices. You are free to make your own choices. Especially about life itself. About how long you're going to be here. You can choose to write it out. Like, you know what? I'm going to write until the wheels fall off. Cool. That's beautiful. That's what you want. And that is beautiful. Right? Because that's what you want. But you can say, at the age of 50, I think I'll be alright. I think I'll be alright. I just want to do some few things, whatever. But at the age of 50, I'll be fine. And I want to host a party. I want to talk to people that have been part of my life and just, exit peacefully. That would be beautiful. Because that's what will be meaningful to you. You see? It doesn't mean that if a person wants to exit peacefully, they're depressed, sometimes that's just what they want. It might not even have anything to do with depression. That's what they think is best for them. That's what they believe in. That's what's meaningful to them. You see? So can you imagine if you are so fucking indoctrinated that you want to behave more like a robot? Like, no, that's wrong. Like, even if people try to explain to you that no, you're the one who's wrong, you never understand them. You aren't even capable of understanding them. Of course, they're not gonna feel well. You're gonna feel well. You're an idiot. You don't even feel that much pain, because I think the more conscious you are, the more you are able to feel pain. Like, the more conscious you are, the more pain you get to feel, because that's the price that you have to pay actually for being conscious, because you become more aware. That's the thing. So you end up suffering because people are idiots, not because you have mental illnesses, but these idiots are going to believe that you have mental illnesses. That is why you are suffering. You see the problem? So this is what we've got wrong about as a society, and that's the worst thing about life. I remember the first video that I made about antinatalism, because I know that natalists believe that life is, worth living. I mean, they don't really think that it's worth living. But because they are procreating, let's assume that they think that life is worth living. And because internalists think that it isn't, there are some internalists that actually think that it is for some people. but they do not want to bring a person into this world whose life is not going to be worth. That's not going to be worth it, because it is part, and it's the person themselves that's going to decide whether it's worth it or not. So can you imagine you have a child and that child says, okay, this shit, why did you bring me here? This shit is not worth it. The internationalists don't want to take that risk, because they know that they're not the only ones that's going to be affected. It's the person that will have been brought here that will actually be affected the most. So they ask themselves, where am I to bring this sentient being to come and have this experience? It's not like it's the best experience to have. There are a lot of horrible things that are happening here, and things might not work out for this being that I would have brought here. It's not like there's no chance that they can suffer. No, there's a big chance that they can really suffer and hate the experience. So no, I don't want to take that risk. It's an unnecessary risk to take. It's not like I'm gonna be judged for not having children. It's not like there are some gods that are telling me that I must have children, otherwise I would not have fulfilled my purpose. No, you're free to not have children. You're not forced to have children. I understand that we live in a society where people are being told that they must have children, and people are going to judge you for not having children, but that's because we live in a society full of stupid people. That's what you must get. People are stupid, and more stupid than you could ever imagine. And you must know this, so that when these people are abusing you, you don't hate them. You just know they're just fucking stupid. They will judge you, make you feel bad for being rational. It's like everyone must be like them. Everyone must be indoctrinated and think the way that they think. If you think differently, there's something wrong with you. That's how most of these people are. But yeah, internationalists don't want to take that risk. So I remember on the first video that I made about antinatalism, I said, I think the best solution would be if, like, they allow people to exit peacefully. A lot of internationalists didn't really agree, and at the time I was an internationalist, but not the kind of internationalist I am today. At the time, I knew that I wasn't gonna have children for philosophical reasons, but I felt like my morality was for me. Like, do you? I'm not gonna have children because I know that this world is fucked up, but I don't give a fuck. I'm selfish. I don't give a fuck what you do. I'm not gonna give you an advice. You do you. We're not the same. But now I'm like, hey, I gotta talk to other people about this shit, because most people are just reproducing because they don't even think. So if I show them that, hey man, you don't have to do this, you probably never realize this ever in your life, and I'm trying to make you realize that you do not have to do this. You're not obligated to do this. You can enjoy your life even if you don't bring anyone else here. Can you imagine if you only just spend your money on yourself? Look at me. I don't have a baby mama drama right now. I don't have baby mama like texting me, I'm angry at me. Why did you not do this for our child? Why did I'm free. I'm free. And it's good to be free. You don't want to feel powerless. I remember when I was reading the comments, remember I told you in the beginning that there's a lady that took herself out, and she also had to take the kids out because of what she believed. She believed that they will not be okay, so she took them out as well. Some people were saying, I felt the same way, and actually I still do feel the same way, but I can't exit because I don't want to also force my children to exit, so I'll have to be here for them, so if you are let me tell you this, if you bring a child into this world, you have lost your right to exit. That's the thing. You've automatically lost your right to exit. You can't. What the lady did was awful. I know that she did what she did because of the pain that she was feeling, but it was still fucking awful. So people must be shown that, hey, things can go horribly wrong in this world. You might actually reach a point where you feel like, hey, you need to exit. Let's just say they make it legal for people to exit in this country. What you gonna do? You gonna exit and leave your children behind if you feel like exiting? That would be wrong, right? So it is good to make people think differently, not just think the same way. I understand that our society is a cult and we are all being forced to think the same way, but it is important that people are able to think differently so that the truth will win. The truth shall win at the end. We mustn't be living a lie because we've been indoctrinated. That's wrong. We mustn't be delusional. We mustn't believe things that make no sense because we've been indoctrinated. We must be able to see that, okay, this doesn't make sense. And if people tell us something that makes sense, we must be able to acknowledge that what they're saying makes sense. But people are so fucking delusional, they don't even want to acknowledge it when things actually make sense because of their emotions. That's one of the reasons why I love MMA. Some people will say their favorite fighters can beat a guy that they cannot beat. I love MMA because if they end up fighting, then those guys are going to say, oh yeah, you were wrong. But if they don't get to fight, they're going to believe that shit forever. Like, nah, you know what I mean? So there's a way for us to figure out what the truth is, like when it comes to MMA, or when it comes to like debates. It's not easy. That's the problem. People are still going to cling to their beliefs because they want to be right. They want to be right even when they're wrong. Because believing what they believe makes them feel good. You see, let's say before Conor McGregor, if Conor McGregor and Khabib didn't fight, and I'm a big fan of Conor, I would think, well, Conor is a better fighter than Khabib. Because I like Conor, and that makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to believe that Conor will beat Khabib if they fight. Well, the truth is that no, he's not going to beat Khabib 10 out of 10 times, because Khabib is just next level. The truth can liberate, in fact, not can, will liberate you. The truth will liberate you. It's only the truth that can liberate you, nothing else. If we lie to ourselves, if we're not intellectually honest, we're going to end up imprisoning people for stupid reasons. What we must understand is that each and every person that has ever been born here will go one day. Each and every person that's ever been born here will go one day. There isn't a person that's gonna be here forever except for these crazy aliens. But no, seriously, as far as we know, each and every person is going to be gone. There's no reason to force a person to stay for as long as possible. Each and every person is here for themselves. Even though we like to tell ourselves that no, you're here for others and others will be affected. Like if it was about that, and then this world would be a much better place, because we will only take the right actions. Like, okay, I'm not gonna do this because other people will be affected negatively. You see, I'm not gonna leave my girlfriend because she'll be affected negatively, and I don't want her to be affected negatively. I don't want her to stress, so I'm not gonna leave her. I'll have to be stuck with her forever. But no, that's not how the world works. We understand that people must be able to make their own choices, even if their choices are gonna hurt others, but they shouldn't be prisoners, because other people will be hurt if they're not prisoners. So sometimes we can be like children. Children will cry when their friends leave. They'll be playing with their friend. When their friends say, I want to leave, I'm tired, they will cry. Oh, you can't leave. You still gotta play with me until I'm tired. That's childish, man. That's childish. We must be able to let people go if they want to go, even if we need them. People must be in our lives because they want to be in our lives, not because we want them to be in our lives. You see? Because if we force them to be in our lives, we will abuse them, which is wrong on so many levels. What we are doing to the human race is not good. What we're doing to fellow humans is not good. Forcing people to be here is not good. It's the worst crime against humanity, believe it or not. Forcing people who don't want to be here is literally the worst crime against humanity. And it's not benefiting us as a society. Fuck our emotions, fuck our beliefs, What you believe about this world is in fact, it's just beliefs. Just because you've been indoctrinated by people who are Christians doesn't mean that the Christian worldview is based on truth. You have to be intellectually honest enough to know that, hey, I don't know what the fuck is going on, so even what I believe might not be true. But Christianity is a disease of some sort, because it will convince you that no, you shouldn't even be skeptical. You should just be 100% sure. If you're skeptical, something is wrong. Your faith must be so fucking, you know what I mean? So if you are completely sure that you're right, you're gonna abuse people believing that you are doing the right thing. This is a horror movie that I've watched. It is this movie about some Christian women who raised these other children. They weren't really their children. They'll raise them to be Christians, like real Christians. They'll read the Bible and be like, "Oh, this is what the Bible says." So if these children got adopted, right, by these parents, after they got adopted, they started doing crazy shit that was written in the Bible, because that's what the Bible said. I think they even, like, the lady that adopted them got pregnant, and I think they did something so that she'd have a miscarriage, something like that, because she did something wrong. And she did something wrong according to them. Like, they're so convinced that what she did was wrong, so God must punish her, something like that. Like, they're so fucking evil, bro. That's how Christians are now. They're so fucking evil, and they don't even see that they're evil. They're so, like, they're self-righteous. They do horrible shit, but thinking that they're doing the right thing. They indoctrinate children thinking that is right. They don't want people to make their own decisions. If you said children shouldn't be indoctrinated with any religion, They should be allowed to choose their own religion when they grow up. They'll think that that is wrong. Like, oh, the devil, the devil now wants to do this and that. It's not the devil, motherfucker. It's people who are intelligent and who knows how fucked up it is to actually indoctrinate children. Your fucking demons that you believe in are not right, because it's obvious that you'll be believing in demons if you think that children should be indoctrinated. It is wrong on so many levels. This religion was given to us by our colonizers. At the end of the day, we weren't believing in this shit when back then, before they colonized us, and it has made us weak. The truth is, if you were free, like if you were really free, you wouldn't feel that bad. If you're not feeling good, you're not feeling good because you're not free. That is the problem. And you not feeling good is a good thing, because it shows you that you should be free. You're not supposed to be abused and feel good when you are being abused. No, when you are being abused, you're not supposed to feel good, because what is being done to you isn't good, you see. So yes, you do not feel good because there's something that is being done to you that is actually wrong. That is why you're not feeling good. You don't really have rights. There are people who are giving you rights. It's slavery, and it's worse. What makes this world worse, the fact that the people who control us are more powerful than the people that were slave owners back then. Like, they are very powerful. Like, you are really not free. We've given other people so much power that we are not free. They can do anything, bruh. They can do anything, and they can get away with anything. These people don't play by the rules that they've created for us. Don't give a fuck about the rules. They do what they want. Rules only apply to you, to me. The people who have real power don't play by our rules. They just have to make sure that we don't get to realize that they don't play by our rules. That's all. Because if they make it too obvious, then other people who are not playing by our rules will have to do something, because they don't want to be exposed, right? So they don't play by our rules, but they have to make sure that whatever they do in secret, so that we don't figure out what the fuck is going on. They do a lot of horrible shit. I mean, look at the story of I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to say it on YouTube, but the story of that island where they were taking children. Like, it's something that really happened. Powerful people were going there to do their thing. See how horrible that is. And you think they don't do that. They do that. But they don't play by your rules, you see. They have a lot of money. They can protect themselves. They can do whatever, man. They can do whatever. But you are so unconscious that you don't realize that the people who are running this world are that evil. Like, I want to be a good person. Oh, you want to be free to exit. That means you are horrible. Blah, blah. Like, no, there are horrible people who are doing horrible things in this world, and this world itself is fucking horrible. You shouldn't be defending this world, you see. But you're not conscious, and you assume that everyone else is not conscious. You see, that's the problem. So you see another person who's actually conscious, but you assume that person is like you. You're like, oh, why should you think you should have a right to exit? No, because that person is conscious and you're not. That's the difference. You actually thinking that is wrong is a sign that you are not conscious, so you deserve to be treated the way that you are being treated. But they don't deserve to be treated the way that they're being treated, because they're able to see that the way that they're being treated is wrong. You see? What I told you in this video is the truth. What I told you on this video is the truth, man. But your people are delusional. I believe that the real mental illness is stupidity. I know people who are so stupid that it is logical to conclude that they have a mental illness, because no one should be that stupid. So it's very logical to actually conclude that, hey, this person thank y'all guys.